Why, hello there, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Iron Phantom's Real Ghost Stories. I am your host, the Iron Phantom, and I'm here to tell you two, yes, two short ghost stories of reality. So, sit tight as I tell you the first of our two real-life ghost stories. This one is called Whitby Abbey. Enjoy it. Whitby, a North Yorkshire town by the coast, a hot tourist attraction for vampire fans, as it is known as the home of Dracula, an infamous vampire in literature inspired by facts like Vlad the Impaler and, of course, is the setting for the story. And ever since Irish producer of the theatre and writer Bram Stoker stayed for his holidays, he would write his book and gain inspiration for his novel, where he would sit on the cliffs and bang opposite he would get a good view of Whitby Abbey, where he would write his book. And for many decades now, and to this very day, remains a hot tourist attraction for fans of Dracula. But Whitby does have its hauntings as well. Not just the vampires, but it also has its ghosts. The ghosts of Whitby Abbey. So many haunted tales. So, not only can you have tours of Dracula in the town, you can also have tours of the ghosts, particularly Whitby Abbey. Located on top of the cliffs, it is said to be the resting place of many sailors, and in the old times it was a burial place. Climbing 197 steps to the top. Of course, Whitby Abbey was constructed centuries ago, in the last millennium, and is home to many spirits. St. Mary's churchyard is said to be haunted by a horse-drawn hearse with its lit up torches, and its headless coachman, which is a haunting, chilling tale as many witnesses have claimed to have seen. But of course, in the center of it all, around the abbey, its founder, Saint Hilda, can be seen in the window, haunting the area of her bleak past, and has been sighted there by many witnesses throughout the centuries that have been. Also, other people have witnessed another ghost, the ghost of Constance Beverley, a nun who is heard screaming throughout the night. Of course, as they are ghosts, nighttime is the time when they are most active. But given the fame of Dracula, the story has been somewhat undershadowed and somehow forgotten about. But Whitby does have its sinister past with ghosts and history. And there is the story of Whitby Abbey. Yes, did you enjoy that one? Did you know that there are ghosts of Whitby as well as vampires? Well, you probably do now. Now let us get to our second and our final story for this episode. This tale that I am going to tell you is the true events of the Enfield Poltergeist. The things a mother would do to protect their child. A bond unbreakable. But what about when the mother cannot protect their child from some unseen or unknown force? This was the case for the Hodgson family, where in the summer of 1977 in August, the mother of the family recently divorced and was left to bring up their daughters by herself with other children. When they moved into a house in Enfield, they moved in wanting to start anew. But they soon found out that they were not alone in this house. The youngest child, Janet Hodgson, 11 years old around the time, shared a room with her sister, and at night they heard knocking sounds. At first, just something that was a bit peculiar, but the knocks grew louder. But of course, with their curiosity, they grew more and more suspicious of this. And the more they looked into this, the more agitated this spirit became. Very rapidly, things started to become more worse. The poltergeist of Enfield became more aggressive, started turning over furniture, began turning and stacking tables up, and at some point, Janet even heard the voice of a crooked old man shouting, "My house." They then had a paranormal investigator named Maurice Gross investigate their home. There he tried to contact the spirit, or at least try to explain what was going on with their home. And the things he found were startling. Leaving tape recordings, and also images that were taken of the young girl Janet floating, and more terrifyingly, things that were seen were very unsettling. However, you can find these tapes on YouTube, but I should warn you, are very unsettling. Maurice Gross managed to contact the spirit through Janet, where it possessed her, and was telling them that this was his house and he wanted them to get out. The ghost said his name was Bill. Then when they looked into the history of the house, they found that the home belonged to a man named William Wilkins, known as Bill, where 14 years before, he died in that house, and was a rageful spirit. But of course, with the investigation and the terrifying tales, Bill was using Janet as a vessel to communicate in the realm of the living. Of course, they had many other strange happenings. At one point, a neighbor stated that he could see young Janet in the window, floating. Even paranormal investigative couple Ed and Lorraine Warren investigated the scene at one point, where they found it unsettling and unnerving. But of course, to this day, young Janet is still alive, and remembers, well, has vague memories of what happened, but also finds it difficult to talk about to this very day. And also, when she looks back and sees the photos and the recordings, it does distress her. And after these events, after this haunting, they all now believe that there is something beyond the realm of the living, the spirit world, knowing that they were once haunted by a ghost. Of course, the events have gone on in years to become documentaries and even in books and literature, even being a TV adaptation in series, and also in 2015 or 2016, the movie The Conjuring 2 adapted this tale, fictionalized of course, but still inspired and based on the events of the Enfield Poltergeist. To this day, the house is still there, but are the spirits still there? Who knows? Who knows of the Enfield Poltergeist? Yes, quite unsettling stories indeed. Did you enjoy the tales told in this month's episode? Do let us know down in the comments below, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and to share with your friends, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I have been your host, the Iron Phantom, and this has been the Iron Phantom's Real Ghost Stories. So, until next time, don't have nightmares.